I am delighted to be here today to welcome y'all. We are here to celebrate the success of our wonderful students. We are absolutely also here to celebrate and appreciate the friends, the family, the loved ones, everyone that sacrificed and supported along the way so that our students could take this giant step forward in changing their lives. We will begin this afternoon with an invocation from Terrell Anthony, followed by our national anthem. Grant Gibson is here to say a few words specifically to our veterans. Then we will have a look into the future of IT by the Chief Technology Evangelist for CompTIA, James Stanger. We have a campus director message for you from our longest tenured campus director, Jarvis Hill. And to wrap things up, our keynote today will be from our founder, our CEO, the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Galati. Thanks so much for being here.
Please join us as we bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we ask that you cover those who are graduating with your abundant grace and perpetual light. Fill them with the hope to face the future with brand new eyes and open minds. Help them to focus the lessons learned and the knowledge and skills gained through their education so that they may better the world, for they are the future standard bearers. Be the light of inspiration that guides them to the well of goodness and mercy. And as they move toward their goals, we ask that you touch their hearts and minds and fill them with fond reflections of their sacrifices on the journey to their moment of truth. All of this we ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Congratulations, you made it. As a Marine veteran, I respect what you've been able to do over the last few months. Hard work and dedication from all of you is what has got you where you are today. We want to offer a special salute to our military veterans. From our leadership, our team members, and your fellow students, we recognize the sacrifice that you had to make to get here today. And we want to thank you for your service and your families for supporting you in this endeavor. You have proven you have what it takes to accomplish the mission. Having been members of the armed forces, you know what service means and how important it is. And I want you to know that's the same mission we have here, to change lives through serving you. And I hope that you will carry that forward with you. And as you move forward in your career, I want you to think about how you can serve others to do the same thing. Remember, it's not just where you're going or where you are, it's also about those that are following in your footsteps. And you can mold them to be IT professionals just like you. I am so very proud of every one of you for what you've accomplished. Thank you for letting us be the catalyst to change your life. Congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck on every endeavor in your career. I can't wait to see you out there.
Hey, how you doing? My name's James Stanger, and I'm Chief Technology Evangelist for CompTIA. And I want to congratulate you, graduates of My Computer Career, for your achievement. You have joined in quite the group. When I say quite the group of IT professionals. So thank you for joining that group. And I have a few kind of pointers and a few things to talk about before we start. So first of all, my last kid graduated. This is his graduate cap and gown. Well, his cap is over here and his gown is right here. But I wanted to get a little deeper into some tech here, just to give you an idea of the wonderful tradition of innovators, of problem solvers, of techies that you got into. First of all, I ended up inheriting some of this old equipment. This is a dictaphone. It's also called an Ediphone. This is 3 pieces of equipment. This one records. This is where I can actually record my voice, and it records into these really cool little dilly whoppers here. You can take a look at it here. That is a voice recording right here. This is basically a piece of memory. Well, this here is where I can actually listen in on it. I can transfer that over here. This actually erases this. So this was stuff that worked into late 19th century, clear in, and was used into the middle of the 20th. To open this up, my cousin gave me a 1964 and a half Mustang. She was an instructor. I found this in the trunk. It's a 16K RAM module that was used for one of the computers that she had. Pretty cool stuff. I think it was used for a Sinclair computer. But I think it's an interesting tradition that you're part of, because in here I put a few other things. Look here, here's a memory module. We've moved from this type of memory to this type of memory right here to this, right? Think of the massive computing capability that is at your hands. This here we can move into even more so. This here is an old modem card. That's what that is. There's where you put your phone into. Network interface card. We're moving into the 90s now. Well, how about the 2000s to 2020 here? It's an Android. I'm an Android person. You iPhone users are fine, I guess. But as an IT professional, think of the progression that you belong to. Think of the progression of ideas of technology. And let's not stop there. We have smart watches, right? That we can use, that we can now talk into, that we can have telephone conversations with, create videos. But beyond that, there's the cloud. There's artificial intelligence, nanotechnology. We've got the use of blockchain. And with artificial intelligence, now instead of somebody like a lawyer or whoever it was who dictated this to a secretary, or instead of people who simply use the internet, now you have machines that are going to think for themselves, and you're going to be part of that. So I've got some advice for you, because it's not all about the tech. It's about the minds and the goodwill of the people who get behind the tech. So first of all, I want you to stay curious. Now, you have been involved in a lot of learning. That's great. Don't stop learning. Keep curious about the technology. Make sure that you create a good foundation of learning. I think you've done that by working at My Computer Career to learn. But sometimes you'll have to get back into that foundation and start learning a few new things. So always stay curious about the technology. Second, get deep into the technologies themselves. Don't just stick with some particular brand or some particular approach. Learn what's going on underneath the technology, as it were. Another thing I want you to think about is to be unconventional in your thoughts. Lately, things have been very unconventional worldwide, haven't they? We've had a lot of asynchronous threats, things that we didn't expect. But it's interesting to see how the IT profession and IT professionals such as you have stepped up. They've stepped up their game, and we led the way in helping the world communicate. And we're going to keep doing that. And we've been doing that for a long time. And I'm just excited to be part of that. And you should be too. One other thing I'd like you to think about is think of other people. Think about how this technology that you are using, that you are helping create, whether it be as a coder, whether it be as somebody who's an administrator of a cloud service, somebody who's doing cybersecurity, one of my favorite things. Think about how you can help other people with diversity, diversity of thought, with cultural diversity. Think of ways that you can include other people, including random acts of kindness everywhere. The other thing I'd like you to think about is IT is not a lonely profession. It's something that is incredibly collaborative. Let me see if I can give you a quick story. There's this, here's an old piece of technology, a book. There was this guy named Lord Byron. You'll have to Google who he was. He's a poet. I've read probably a lot of this stuff. Byron has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but his daughter, Ada Lovelace, some people know her as Ada Lovelace, but it's Ada Lovelace. She has everything to do with computing technology. She is actually involved, along with Charles Babbage, in some of the first computer languages and some of the first computer programs, some of the first computers ever thought of and designed in the 19th century. She helped create not this stuff, but precursors to the very computers, to the very devices that we use every day. And there's even some debate, well, she wasn't all that involved, or maybe she really was. And that debate is usually led by people who know nothing about programming, who know nothing about IT, and how collaborative it is. She helped Babbage articulate thoughts and perfect thoughts that he never would have been able to do. My point, it's very important to get into collaboration, to work with other people. So as part of this, and just as I sign off here, I want to see if I can encourage you to collaborate with each other, to work with each other, to network. So as far as networking is concerned, get on LinkedIn, get your profile going. I've got one. I'm James Stanger. I'm on LinkedIn. And what I want you to do, it's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to take a selfie of myself. And what I want you to do is feel free to join in if you want and join my network. It's a beginning of what it means to collaborate and work with fellow IT professionals. So as you think about all of the different technologies, as we move on in the world from this old stuff to all the new stuff, all of the things that are available to you, think more along than just, hey, the world's my oyster, I can do this. Think about how you can work to push the envelope forward yourself in the world of IT. Congratulations on your graduation. Take care and talk to you soon.
Hello, my name is Jarvis Hill, Campus Director at MyComputer Career, Arlington Campus. And on behalf of all campus directors, I would like to first say that it is an honor and a privilege to be here today to witness this special occasion and to celebrate with you, because today is the day we celebrate your academic achievements and accomplishments. Today is also an opportunity to celebrate family, friends, faculty, and staff, because they too were a part of the journey. And I know that they are very excited for you and very proud of you. Each of you have made an incredible sacrifice and transformation to not only start the program, but to finish and graduate. Many of you that joined us were a little nervous, uncertain, and some of you needed extra guidance and motivation. And for some, it was simply a breeze. You overcame adversity and obstacles like having car problems, having to work late, childcare issues, a lack of sleep. I could go on and on, but through all of that, you still made it to this day. Today, you have taken the first steps towards the beginning of a new journey. You leave us as professionals with limitless opportunity and promise. And remember, stay true to who you are, and always remember the motivation that brought you to MyComputer Career in the beginning. Carry that motivation with you as you move along this new path. Find your passion, cultivate it, let it grow, and follow it as it continues to grow. A wise man once said, "Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life." I strongly urge you to continue to discover that spark, the spark that ignites your passion and creativity. That same spark, and in time, will turn into a flame and will guide you through this wonderful, strange world we call information technology professionals. Some of you will go on to work at major IT companies, and some of you will start your own business, which will flourish and bring you the freedom that you've always desired. And maybe, just maybe, a brave few of you will go on to become IT instructors and receive your own bright-eyed group of students. And in turn, send them off into the world, knowing that you have helped shape people who will make a difference, just as you are. Although you have been guided and motivated by the faculty and staff here at My Computer Career, you have also inspired and motivated us as well. And we are extremely proud and excited for what the future holds. As you begin this new chapter in your life and begin taking the first steps of this new journey, remember this advice. First, do not just get involved, fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a place at the head of the table. Second piece of advice, never underestimate the power of your example, meaning the very fact that you are here today and graduating, it's possible because earlier generations shattered the myth that you could not or should not be where you are today. And my last piece of advice is very simple, but probably most important. Persevere. Nothing worthwhile is easy, and no one achievement has ever avoided failure, and sometimes major failures. Learn from your mistakes and do not give up. Do not quit. In closing, I would like to recognize our WCITP students, our world-class IT professionals. You maintained a 90% or better GPA, you completed 90% or above the required attendance, and you have earned at least 6 certifications. This is an outstanding accomplishment. This shows your dedication and commitment to your education and training, but more importantly, it shows potential employers your commitment to excellence. Great job. Also, many of you have intentions to further your education and training, which will allow you to continue to develop your IT skills. And our cybersecurity specialist program, our cybersecurity engineer program, and the associate's degree program will be great opportunities for you to do so. Please stay connected with the career services staff and the alumni services team for ongoing job placement assistance, for refresher courses, and the opportunities to complete more IT certifications, which are needed in the ever-changing IT industry. Today is the beginning for each of you. Every day is a new opportunity to change your life, but remember, the secret to change is not only to focus your energy on fighting the old, but building the new. So please come back, visit us. You're always welcome, and I wish you all the best in the future. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your future, and congratulations, and may God bless.
Congratulations. And I mean it with all my heart. Congratulations. I am so proud of you. There is nothing that makes me happier and more excited than to know there is a group of warriors who overcame their fears, overcame the difficulties of this very strenuous program, and made it here today to graduation. I am so excited for you. You have such a great future ahead of you. Many of y'all, before you even entered this program, had to overcome your fears and overcome obstacles just to get in to the program and join My Computer Career on this trek. And then everybody, once you got into the program, had obstacles that came up, obstacles that might have prevented you from learning what you needed to learn and gaining the skills you needed to gain and get those certifications that are so important to your new career. And yet, you stuck with it. You overcame all of those fears. You pushed through those obstacles, those barriers, those things that came up in your life while you were going through this program, and you made it. You gained the certifications you needed, you gained the skills you needed, you gained that education and all that knowledge you needed, and here you are today where we can celebrate your success. I am so happy for you. And those families and friends who are here to celebrate with you, I want them to know really how special you are. It is not common for people who are stuck in a dead-end job or simply aren't happy with the way their life is going. It is not common for people to take control of that situation. Instead, so many just will complain about it, they'll whine about it, but they'll never change. But you did something about it. You decided, I am not going to be satisfied with the status quo. I am not going to live in the life that I have today. I'm going to take control of my future. I'm going to enroll at My Computer Career. And when this curriculum got really hard very quickly, you stuck with it. You worked as hard as you possibly could, and you made it. You're successful. You are here today, and your friends and your family who are here to celebrate with you need to know really what a warrior you are. To grab your future by the horns and just wrestle it to the point where you are now here, you're successful, and you're now ready to take that next step. Many have tried, and y'all saw it during your tenure here. There were some who simply couldn't overcome their fears. There were some who simply didn't have the confidence in themselves and the faith in our staff and our instructors to make it all the way through. And they didn't make it. But you know, somewhere around 80% of our students do graduate. And you are there. While others have fallen aside, you stuck with it. You worked as hard as you needed to work. You got the support from your family and friends to help you achieve these goals, and you achieved it. Now, I know not everybody's finished. Just because you're graduating doesn't mean you're finished. I'm sure some of y'all still have certifications you still want that you didn't obtain, and you're going to stay with us. You're going to keep coming to class. You're going to keep coming to school so we can help you with the tutoring and the boot camps and refresher courses and whatever else we need to provide to make sure you finish up and you finish up all the certifications that you want to obtain with us. And some of y'all will be moving on to our next program focused on cybersecurity. Some of y'all will go all the way through the cybersecurity specialist program, the cybersecurity engineer program, and even on to our associate's degree program. Some of y'all are here to celebrate your graduation from those programs. Wherever you are, just know I am super proud. I am so happy that you were able to achieve this level of moving your future forward. That you today, you're a graduate. You will be able to say to your family and friends, you'll be able to put that graduation certificate up on your wall. You can show your kids, your future kids, that you accomplished what you set out to accomplish. We're going to stay with you. Our alumni at My Computer Career, you are with us forever. We're never going to let you go. So when you need help with a refresher course somewhere along the line, or you need help finding that next job, or maybe some of y'all are still looking for that first job, you just stay with us. We'll stay with you. And for the rest of your lives, we're going to help you make sure that this isn't just a job that you've gotten already or you're about to get, but this is going to be a real career. Because it's through that career you're going to elevate your income and have the better life you came here for. So I'm happy for today, but I'm also happy that I'm going to be with you for the rest of your life, helping you with whatever you need to make sure this is a great career for you and that you are happy with the life you achieved. Thanks for letting me join you on this momentous day, and for you family and friends who are here to celebrate with us, these graduates, these warriors, thank you so much for supporting them in wanting to change their lives for the better.
Thank you, Tony, for those outstanding remarks. Your vision and the mission of My Computer Career is certainly being fulfilled in the lives of these graduates. And that brings us to the part of the ceremony you've all been waiting for, the presentation of the graduates.
Rachel Ackerman. Chucky Leon Adams II. Emmanuel Prempa Adai. Anthony Adenayi Edetoy. Ayodiji Kihindi Akinpilu. Corey Thomas Alexander, Albert Lee Allison, Luther A. Amrich, Jeffrey Craig Anderson, Christopher Earl Anderson, Kaylin Michael Anderson, Maurice Eugene Anthony Hurd, Demetria Trayshawn Archer, Kristen Florence Ashley, Bobby Ray Baker Jr., Bernardo Ball, Anthony Lewis Baskerville, Jason Emmanuel Bell, Bernard Tracy Belton Jr., Eduardo Burnaby Benitez, Michael Lee Benson, Matthew David Birmingham, Victor Daniel Bower, Gregory Francis Bevelheimer, Perry J. Biles, Steve Riley Blackstock, Andres Parsival Bohorquez, Jerry Paul Bowling, George W. Bordley Jr., Andrew Dion Bawama, Brendan James Bowman, David Aaron Boyd, Garrett Taylor Bragg, Joel Paul Brandt, Jody Dwayne Brechtel, Lawrence M. Brewer, Amber Denny Brewer, Clayton Joseph Brickner, Eric Abraham Britton Jr., Jason David Brower, Scott Henderson Brown, Arnold Jarvis Brown Jr., Rashad Brown, Gerald D. Brown, Lawrence Timothy Brown, Billy Layton Brown, Richard Kurt Brown, Isaac Ethan Bustamante, Ryan Darrell Butler, Joseph William Colley, Eulalar Elana Campbell, Corey James Campina, Timothy John Carey, Charles Wesley Carpenter, Michael Amos Carr, Gregory Bernard Carter Foster, Warren Timothy Carter Thornley, Michael Dennis Casey II, Jeffrey Gary Caesar, Ram B. Chamlagai, Stephen Chang, Alonzo Chavez, Andrew Isaac Choro, Rudolph Vincent Simato III, Bruce Elliott Cohen, Michael Joe Coyle. Jeffrey Allen Coleman. Justin Michael Collins. Ricardo Antonio Colin Lopez. Emily Michelle Combs. Edward Ernst Conyers, Jr. Quincy Dermont Cooper. Celia Skypearl Copeland. Jesus Mauricio Corral. Kevin Matthew Cotton. Christopher Covington. Contessa Lee Cox. Evan Michael Kraft. John Xavier Crawford Williams. Corinne Amanda Crisp. Casey Nicholas Crum. Scott Aaron Culbertson. Pierre Maurice Cummings. Wayne Ellsworth Darden. James Stanley Davis, Jr. Tomaris Laquise Davis. Carlos Antonio Della Rosa, Jr. Anthony James Della Versano. Sarah Rachel Delheim. Teresa A. DeMarco Bocchino. Aaron Ray Denman. Donald Wayne Dennett. Michael Snow Dennis. Corey Aaron Dennis Garcia. Ariel Kayleen DeRosier. Ryan William Dixon. Justin Kirk Dolly. Moray Ray Downing. Amanda Leanne Drake. Philip Andrew Dryslane. Cassandra Leanne Dykes. Terrence Joseph Easter. John DeMorio Eaton. Good luck, Emmanuel Kuivugbi. Zavorius Dominique English. Christopher J. Irwin. Hayen Espinal. Zachary Michael Estevard. Walter Kendall Ugly II. Kai Lishan Evangelista. Anthony Paul Fallis. Elaine Joyce Farley. Jason Andrew Farr. Hunter Alexander Flory Black. Jason Allen Foster. Jacob Wayne Foster. Wesley Charles Fowler. Michael Christopher Frank. David James Frank. Raymond Lewis Franklin Board, Jr. Nathan Johannan Freeman. Logan Jared French. Cannon Lee Friegel. Tara Ashley Gables. Jeria Jade Gaines. Nathaniel James Gangmi, Salihu Danlami Garba, John Wesley Garrison, Brina Vene Gaskins, Shania Danisha Geohangan, Christopher Darnell George, Paul Elias Geikas, Frank Gilkes Jr., Antonio Nathaniel Gibohente Woodson, Ariel Tene Gladney, Richard Gonzalez, Sam Charles Gordon, Aaron Marcus Gorey, Patrick Luke Greaves, Kastner Courtney Green, Darren Dakota Green, Jericho Cortez Gregory, Noah James Griffith, Carlos R. Guaman, Khalif Hakim Gully, Aaron Lee Hack, Carl Russell Hackett, Jeremy Ryan Haddix, Reginald Alton Hagans, Brian Allen Hancock, Michelle Alma Hentour, Ashton Dion Hardman, Howard Lee Hardnett Jr., Kenneth Allen Harmonson, Savitri Renee Harrell, Shedrick Renoda Harris, Michael Lamont Harris, Jonathan Mickle Harvey, Zachary Wiley Haston, Patrick Ryan Henry Norris, Caden Herring, Daniel Lee Heese, Shane Corey Hicks, Franklin Alfonso Hill, Daryl Lee Hill, David Paul Hill, Tyler Lee Hilt, Kenneth Wayne Hilton, Lois Wright Holloman, Billy George Hoover, Jamie Renee Hopkins, Brandon Sergio Hubbard, Carrie Ann Hudson, Alan Joseph Huff, Quincy Earl Humphrey, Justin Brian Hurt, Marcus Aaron Inahara, Jonathan Dwayne Inman, Mahmoud Habib Ismail, David Leon Jackson, Corian David Jackson, Keith Jamil Jackson, Tyrone Jackson, Bradley Allen Jago, Jamie Mark James, Maya Diamond Jean Gillis, Jonathan White Jenkins, Greg Jenkins, Kevin Christian Jepson, John Andrew Jerome, Carolyn Winnette Jeter, Danelle Corinthia Johnson, Tracy Lee Johnson, Kendall DeJoycelyn Johnson, Marcus Dwayne Johnson, Jeffrey Michael Johnson, Juan Michael Johnson Wise, Anthony Tyrone Jones, Johnny Lee Jones, Kenneth Corwin Jones, Samantha Lynn Jones, Jonathan Lavelle Jones, Augustus Jones Jr., Joshua Anthony Jordan, Colin Neely Kentner, Jonathan Josu Kawas, Lakeisha Raquel Kelly, Dana Michelle Kelly, Anthony Schuler Kelly, Alexander John Curtimus, Brian Allen Kilgo, Treason Lamar Kirkland, Jacob Ahaz Kirkpatrick, Paul Goodale Kit, Adam J. Klontz, Casey Aaron Knighton, Jonathan Seth Hamilton Noach, Gregory Allen Colber, Alexander Sumo Corler, Richard Boone Creanbrink, Eric Philip Larkins Jr., Corey Mikkel Lawrence, Larry Gerald Lawrence, Clarence William Layton II, Tyler Evan Lee Hankins, Kadarius Tiandre Lewis, Seth David Lott, Larry Douglas Lowry Jr., Eduardo Lumbrieres, Matthew Joseph Maddox, Cristobal Maldonado, J. Daniel Manuel, Aaron Christopher Mariani, William Terrell Marks, Brian Lee Marsh, Brian Lee Marsh, Dominique Angelo Martin, Brian Matthew Marzolf, Tanner James Matlock, Anthony Rogers Matthews III, Mark Allen May, Shanisha Shide McGee, Marvin McLean, Lakia Shantice McMillan, Jeremy Casey Lucio Medina, Elvis Kawabina Minsa, Jesse James Michaels, Kenneth Joseph Miller, Kayla Marie Miller, Zachary Henry Miller, George Michael Mitchell, Eugene Nathaniel Mitchell, Kaiwan Anthony Mitchell, Peter Eugene Montemayor, Stephen Anthony Montiel, Austin James Moreau, Demarcus Shanquil Morrow, Shamar Malik Moultrie, Danny Mumfamba Muamba, Michael Wayne Murphy, James Irwin Murphy V, Christopher Sean Murray, Stuart Adrian Moose, Kaylin Allen Mayers, Abraham Alfred Naranjo, Raymond Javier Naranjo Fernandez, Alec Darren Nathaniel, Robert Wolcott Nabel, Linda Ann Negron, Bradford Randall Neal, Corey Glenn Niel, Christopher Dwayne Nevels, Timothy Dwayne Newsom, Costain Tawanda Nihimwa, Douglas Wesley Nielsen, Tisha and Gillette Northern, Kevin Allen Norton, Nemanja Novakovic, Christopher Joseph O'Donnell, Hans Charles Ohlert, Adesina David Okarindi, Jonathan Robert Olds, Emily Chanel Outing, Michael Thomas Paris, Yanis Ninkosi Parker, Travis Lamont Parker, Misty Dawn Parsons, Amy Lynn Patterson, Montel Fincy Paulin, Louis Fernando Payen, Daniel Scott Paraben, Lance Gordon Peterson Jr., Frank Anthony Pichardo, Marlon Donnell Piper, James Michael Plunkett IV, Philip Oscar Portillo, George Lee Powell Jr., Shania Molinek Pringle, Anne-Marie Pralou, Patrick William Quigley, Gerald Randall Jr., Kristen Michelle Rees, Maximilian von Retberg, Jeffrey Michael Revelle, Bonnie Ray Rays, Christopher Stephen Rippey, Jason Wesley Rist, Jordan John Rittenhouse, Thelma Robinson, Leroy Robinson Jr., Juan Rodriguez, Ethan Lee Rose, Nathan Charles Ross, Alex Ruiz, Michael Eric Rombolo, Asad Ali Sandik, Joseph Whitfield Sams, Carrie Lee Sams, Joseph Michael Sanchez, Jennifer Diane Saris, Connor Madison Savage, Joseph George Scharf, Joseph George Scharf, Timothy Harold Schultz, Joshua Keith Scoggins, Eric Carlos Sconiers, Raymond Abra Simeon, Christopher Serrat, Christopher William Seward, Garrett Marshall Shackelford, Joshua Michael Shelton, Valerie Irene Shepard, Jason Michael Sherwood, Ashley Marie Schrum, Clifford Wood Sides, Caleb Levon Singletary, Jonathan Frank Scop, Nathaniel Mitchell Skirosky, Reginald David Small, Jr., Nielsen Daniel Smiley, Nina Denise Smith, Jody LaShawn Smith, Nicholas Jerome Smith, Melva Deanne Smith, Chelsea Baker Smith, Michael Andrew Smith, Natasha Spears, Keeler Noah Stabenow, Stephen James Stangler, Jeffrey Jerome Statham, Irving Stephen, Orenthal Isaiah Stevens, Joshua Mitchell Stewart, Latoya Tokara Still, Shanika Marguerite Stowers, Joshua Seth Strausbaugh, Melvin Ray Strong, Ignacio Antonio Suarez, Jonte DiMonterio Sutton, Christian Everett Sivum, France M. Sinsmere, Torrin William Tate, Jamie Danielle Taylor, Matthew Christian Taylor Felton, Benjamin James Temple, King Tao. Percy Thingpen Jr. Monique Michelle Thomas. Nicholas Dewan Tillman. Malik Hakeem Teasdale. Jason Edward Topel. Dante Jamal Travis. Andre Lavar Triplet. Ibrahim Toure. Joseph Paul Turner. Revere Uloa. Jonathan Michael Van Loo. Michael George Van Camp. Johnny Vang. Joshua Francisco Vega. Peter Harold Vercake Jr. Calvin Lamont Vick. Peter Jonathan Vidra Jr. Eric Shane Vines. Jason Vinluan. Charles Edwin Wallace. Shandell Nicholas Waring. Asata Louisa Warner. Noah Wayne Warren. Isaac Russell Warren. Clifford Waverly Watson. Michaela Dimitriuna Wells. Rhodesha Shakara Wells. Lenora Gabrielle White. Timothy Trace Whitfield. Robert Nathaniel Wiley Sr. Michelle Sherrill Wilkes. Patrick O'Neill Williams. Derek Lee Williams. Barrett Martin Williams. Tiffany Alexandria Williams. Robert Linville Williams III. Ricky Leon Williams. Sherry Morrow Williams. Brittany Angelique Williams. Makiko Lowe Wilson. Isaac David Woloff. Olajuwon Lamo Wood. Jonathan Tyrese Woodruff. George McKinley Woods. Christopher Shane Workman. Michael Lee Worthington. Montgomery Brandon Wosley. Gary Allen Wright. Eddie Jamal Wright. Ricardo Terrell Wright Jr. Fang Kevin Xiong. Justin Tyler York. David Jared Young. Carl Emmanuel Youngman. Dilmer Noel Zapata. Cristobal Maldonado.
That concludes our commencement services for this graduating class of My Computer Career. We thank you, graduates. We thank your parents and family and friends for your support. We are excited to see what you accomplish in your new career and look forward to being there with you every step of the way.